Today we'll be reviewing Anvil Industries' Lena Petrova model. The Lena Petrova model is a special character for Anvil Industries' in-house game, Afterlife. Now, what I like about this model is that it's a single dynamic posed model. So Anvil Industries is most well known for its bits line. So being able to customize 28mm heroic models, normally Games Workshop models. But with this model, they've also started doing a line of female models that are realistically proportioned, which is rather unique in the miniatures world. What I like about her is she's also in the act of running, and she's carrying a little briefcase that has circuitry and little power wires in there. And on her head, instead of hair, is a sculpted cap with auxiliary imports that can be plugged in. So the design of the model is key to why I bought it. So I'm really big into Osprey Games' Reality's Edge. And in that game, since it plays into some of the cyberpunk future, it's very similar to Keanu Reeves' Johnny Mnemonic. The idea that you have mnemonic couriers that carry large amounts of data either in their skull or in objects they carry. So with the cap and with the briefcase, she's sculpted to fit that idea of a courier trying to get from one customer to an end user very quickly. And when you look on the marketplace for mnemonic couriers, she was just the most dead on for, you could look at her and say, if you're playing a cyberpunk skirmish game, and say, well, that's a mnemonic courier. The way her clothes are done and with the way her head is sculpted in the backpack, it kind of limits her to near future, far future sci-fi type games. But she would fit in as a civilian. So if you're playing any of the skirmish games or miniature games where you need civilian characters as either bystanders or NPCs or objective tokens, she could be a well sculpted one out there. As you can see, she's not actually carrying any weapon on her. So it sets her apart from most miniatures of where you can tell they're armed participants in an activity. She's just a person with a briefcase running through town. Normally when I've been playing games, with like Reality's Edge, where you have civilians standing to the side, there's really not a lot of models made for civilian characters, especially in the far future. I think we're starting to see more models made for contemporary times, and Saga makes a line for medieval times and Dark Ages. There's not a lot of options for civilians in the cyberpunk world. And while yes, you can use railroad models, you get the right scale. Those are highly glossy. You're still going to have to put work into them. I mean, they're cheap, but they just don't look right. This model actually looks like a human and is sculpted to the same quality standard as what you normally make your own factions out of that you're playing with. So it just gives a touch more realism to the board. Lena Petrova is done in 28mm scale. Anvil Industry defines it as true scale, though normally what I found is they go a little bit bulkier. They're more actually on the heroic scale. But what that means is I can put this next to GW models or some of the other Anvil Industry heroic scale models, and she'll still fit in. Because you'll just think, well, she's not carrying weapons, she's not carrying armor. Of course she looks a little bit smaller. But you can also put her to some of the true scale models, such as Spectre miniatures or Radio Dish Dashes, White Dragon Metal, and she'll fit in because she's slim enough in her arms and legs to appear to be in that scale. If you get them close enough to each other, it just looks like she pumps a lot of iron compared to some of the other people. The only place to get this model is they don't do it in retail, so you've got to buy it online from their website, and they are in the UK. The model is actually a good price at $8. The trick you have is, since in the UK, if you're in the US, you're going to be paying $6.50 on top of that. So if you just wanted to buy this one model with the shipping and handling, you're looking at $14.50 for a model. Altogether, it is a bit pricey for a 28mm resin model. That's why when you buy an Anvil Industries, best to buy in bulk. So with Anvil Industry, shipping and handling is, from what I've seen, is $6.50 flat. So you go in there, you order something, it's going to cost you $6.50. So 1 model, 2 model, 3 models, 100 models, it's going to be $6.50. Thank you and good day.